Hey guys, Akila here with another video. And what are we talking about today? Hurricane Irma. Boom! Hurricane Irma is making its way through the Caribbean and it is tearing the place up. It is a dangerous category 5. I heard that this morning it downgraded to a category 4 while it was going over Anguilla, Barbuda, and approaching St. Martin. So that's good news, but I don't think it's gonna stay that way. But we'll see. So today we're just gonna talk about easy ways you can prepare for a hurricane. How to prepare for a hurricane, because the key to surviving these monsters is being prepared. Tip number 1, get rid of any loose objects in your yard. Those objects are potential missiles. Like seriously, those are potential projectiles. They can do serious harm to people or to serious damage to your house or your neighbor's houses. Things like lumber, gardening equipment like lawnmowers, anything that's loose and heavy, a hurricane will pick that up. So get rid of anything loose in your yard, or make sure you tie it down, make sure it's secure. Number 2, protect your house. If you do not have hurricane shutters, board those windows up. If you have a glass door in the back of your house like most people do, board that up, because the winds in a hurricane can be devastating. They will throw things through your windows. For a lot of people's houses, windows are one of the first things to go, right after the roof or the shingles. But yeah, protect your house. Tip number 3, stock up on gas, food, and water. You do not want to face a hurricane with empty cupboards. Trust me, it could be days before you have access to clean water, to groceries. You just never know. So I would recommend stocking the house with enough food and water to last each person in your household for 2 weeks. Stock up on the canned foods, the breads, the mackerel, the corned beef. If you're American, tuna. Tip number 4, turn your refrigerator to the lowest setting. This will increase the lifespan of the food in the refrigerator. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Tip number 5, birth certificates, passports, land deeds, house deeds, insurance papers. Put these in a waterproof container or a waterproof Ziploc bag, airtight Ziploc bag, and put them somewhere accessible. You want to make sure that these documents are protected. If you need to get out there on the go, you can just grab and go. Protect your important documents, because it is the worst thing after something as devastating as a hurricane and you can't go anywhere. You can't fly out because your passport, you probably is at the other end of the country by now. You know what I mean? So keep your things together. That would make things so much easier for you if you plan to evacuate, if you need to leave the country. And just rebuilding after something as devastating as a hurricane, having these documents handy just makes things go a lot smoother. Tip number 6, don't forget your pets. Ensure that you have enough food for them. Ensure that you have all their important documents together. If you're that kind of pet owner who has documents, which I wasn't until recently. Yeah, veterinary records, anything pertaining to your dog that you think would be important. If your dog has a passport, or if your rabbit has a passport, or your guinea pig, or your snake. I don't know what people are into these days. Just make sure they're together and you know where everything is. Tip number 7. And to me, this is one of the most important tips. It's stay informed. I would suggest buying a battery operated radio, because if things get really bad, as they tend to do in a hurricane, you won't have electricity to power your television or to power your phones. Cell towers may be down, limiting communication. So the best way to stay informed will be to have a battery operated radio. That way you can keep track of, where the storm is, if it's here yet, if it's gone, if the worst of it's, gone. Be alerted to relief efforts if there are rescuers in your area, if that's something that you need, you know. So I would say get yourself a radio, get yourself a flashlight, and make sure that your family has access to the latest information, because this could be the difference between life or death. So those are my tips. I hope you guys won't ever have to use it, but for those of us who will have to use it, stay safe, and I wish you guys all the best.